first of all, I really appreciate the support of Mr. Melnick, Pierre Dorion, the entire Senators organization. This is something that I've been looking forward to in terms of joining this family for a long time. And I think more than anything else, I've always had a real drawing towards Ottawa, the people there, the community, the hockey passion that the people have. So it's meant a lot to me to have this opportunity. I'm really excited about it.
It sounds like you're going to have a kind of a multifaceted role in terms of where you fit in hockey operations.
I would say so, Wayne, absolutely. And Pierre and I have had some phenomenal discussions to date, probably 4 or 5 of them. We had an extremely long discussion yesterday, almost 4 hours, talking about different ideologies and where I fit in with the organization. I'm very comfortable with everything he's brought up with me so far. And I'm thrilled to death with the vision that Mr. Melnick has for me as well in the organization. And I'm trying to reach out to scouts and coaches today. I've talked to a couple scouts. I've talked to one coach so far at the NHL level, one at the American Hockey League level. So I'm trying my best to keep up with everything right now, to be honest with you, Wayne.
Pierre, we'll go next to Bruce Garrioch at Post Media.
Hey, Pierre, just wondering where you think you can help this team. Do you think in a lot of areas?
Well, first of all, Bruce, thanks. It's nice chatting with you. I'm looking forward to it more than anything else because it's going to be multidimensional. I think relationship with the amateur scouts, relationship with the pro scouts, communicating with our minor league people. I know that Troy Mann and Ben Sexton and David Bell and Justin Peters have done a phenomenal job down in Belleville. So I'm looking forward to having a relationship with them. Obviously, DJ and Jack and Davis and Zach have done an awesome job with the team at the NHL level. So I'm looking forward to chatting with them. And I think more than anything else, just trying to support and be there for Pierre Dorion as much as I can be.
How much has it helped you, Pierre, to take a step back? And I know over the course of years, your name has been mentioned for several GM opportunities and other, opportunities in the National Hockey League. Why is now the right time?
Well, a lot of reasons. Number one, NBC doesn't have a contract anymore. So that was something that opened up a door for me in terms of trying to research some different opportunities on the hockey side. That's number one. Number two, both of my children, I've now got, my daughter, Justine, is a sophomore in university. My son's going to be a freshman hockey player in university at Colgate. So that opens up the door for Melanie and I and my wife to move back to Canada, which is something we're really excited about. And then the way it was presented to me by Mr. Melnick and by Pierre Dorion, I was thrilled with this. This is an opportunity that I never really thought I'd have a chance at. And once it presented itself, I was really excited about it. But I think the one thing that's really important, people say, oh, he's just a media guy. That's not true. I spent a lot of time coaching at the college level. I spent a lot of time coaching at the NHL level and scouting at the NHL level. And when you do the TV job that I had the privilege of doing for over 20 years, you get to see a lot behind the scenes of what works with each organization in the league and what doesn't work, what players are trending up, what players are trending down. Because the one part of working in the media that I think really works if you're doing it properly is you do it with an unbiased eye. You don't care who wins and who loses. You don't care about the things that maybe fans care about or GMs care about. You're watching it with unfettered access and without an unbiased eye. And I think that really helps when it comes to the evaluation process of players.
Pierre, we'll go next to Ian Mendes at The Athletic.
Thanks, Chris. First of all, Pierre, congratulations on the job. Welcome to Ottawa.
Thanks, Ian. Appreciate it.
Yeah, listen, two questions for you. The first would be when you've been on TSN 1200 over the years, you've often talked about your 7-player profile. And I'm just wondering, when you look at this Ottawa Senators roster, how close are they to that 7-player profile you've often talked about?
We're probably 3 players away from it right now. And I think some of them internally will evolve and be those players that fit into the 7-player profile. And for those that don't know, the 7-player profile kind of works like this: 2 dominant centers, a power forward, and then a specialist forward. It could be a power play player. It could be a penalty killing player. It could be a face-off player. So that's 4 of your 7. Then you need an elite puck-moving defenseman. Obviously, Ottawa has one of those in Thomas Chabot. He's just a phenomenal talent, and I'm so excited to spend some time with him. And then you need an elite shutdown defenseman. And because of the salary cap, in the NHL, and the parity that's in the NHL, and the amount of overtime games and the amount of shootouts, you need to have a super elite goalie. So those are the 7 players in the profile. And usually those are the guys that eat up huge chunks of your cap. So you've got a power forward, the 2 centers, the specialist forward, the shutdown defenseman, the puck moving defenseman, and then the elite goalie. And then you build around those players and you can be very cap friendly. And that formula really works with any kind of market team, not just big market, not medium market, not small market. It works with any team.
And my other question to you would be, I hear a lot of people saying Pierre McGuire hates analytics. What would your response to that be?
It's not that I hate analytics, but I believe in scouting. I believe that there has to be people that are boots on the ground, hardcore hockey people that can actually evaluate a player without utilizing numbers, and the player passes the eye test. I still don't know if there's an analytic equation for heart, for character, for hard work, for fearlessness, for determination. So that's part of the formula that hardcore boots on the ground scouting has to be. I don't hate analytics. I think it's a tool that can be utilized in any kind of evaluation, but I'm a big believer in boots on the ground scouting. And I'll use Tampa Bay as an example. If you look at, and I won't talk about players, obviously, because it's a sensitive issue now, but if you look at Tampa, salute them as a Stanley Cup champion, but look at the depth players that Tampa had and the way they performed. It was phenomenal to watch, Ian. It really was.
And one other one here for you. Would you have reached out to a guy like John Davidson or anybody who's done that transition from broadcasting back into the kind of front office world to maybe get some advice?
I was actually in touch with JD today. He sent me a very nice note, and I'm very grateful for that. My confreres at the Hockey Hall of Fame, where I'm on the selection committee, a lot of them have reached out. I've been really surprised, Ian, at the amount of NHL players that have reached out to me today. I'm blown away by it, to be honest with you. But to me, I'm going to talk to John at some point when it's appropriate. I'm going to talk to Bob Nicholson, who's a very good friend of mine out in Edmonton. I'm going to reach out to Luc Robitaille, who's the president of the LA Kings. Brian Burke's already been in touch with me. So at some point, yeah, I'm going to be in touch with all those people and get some really good advice, I hope, from all of them. Absolutely.
Pierre, the next question is from Ken Warren at Post Media.
Hey, Ken.
Congratulations, Pierre. Welcome back
Great
to Ottawa.
Talk to you. Thanks a lot, Ken. Great to talk to you.
I guess this is 2 questions. One is, I assume in this position, every day is a different day, and you'll be pulled in different directions and whatever, that you're being asked to do in that specific day. And part of that, I suppose, is doing things like this with the media. You obviously are very comfortable with the microphone and selling a message about the team. Sometimes PR in Ottawa hasn't been great. Do you see that as, part of this role too?
There's no question. It is part of the role. That's something that Mr. Mullen talked about when we met, maybe one of the first 2 or 3 times via phone conversation. So yes, it's definitely part of it. And I appreciate that. And it's something that I am comfortable with. I've made my living doing that for the last 20 years, but it takes me back to when I got my first media job, Ken, at CJD Radio in Montreal. I was hired by the late, great Ted Blackman. And I asked him once, I said, why did you approach me about this job? He says, because we listened to tapes of when you were coaching in the National Hockey League, and we loved your interviews at the time and the answers that you gave, and we thought you had a chance to do this. So it goes all the way back to the early 1990s in terms of being comfortable talking to the media. I'm really grateful for that opportunity that Ted and CJD presented at the time. And so, yeah, that is going to be part of my job description. There's no question about it, Ken. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Pierre, the next question is from Steve Whyno at the AP.
Hi, Steve. Thanks a lot for your note today, Steve. Thank you.
Pierre, congratulations. Yeah, I appreciate this as always. You mentioned this about talking to JD and other guys who came back from TV. I'm wondering what you think the biggest challenge is in general, but also specifically for you after spending so much time in broadcasting to get back into that kind of hockey scouting hardcore mode, and how you take the knowledge from those broadcasts and talking to people in the locker room and turn that into player personnel decisions and player personnel information.
Great question. Thanks a lot, Steve. Well, I think the biggest thing is you evaluate every single thing, and every day is a different day. I think the one thing that people don't really know about being in management at any level is every day you're trying to solve problems or you're trying to sell a positive message. And so I'm prepared for that. I think the one thing that's really important, though, when you talk about a management position with any organization, is communication with the people that you're working with. And I can tell you right now that Pierre Dorion and I have had phenomenal communication to date. That's going to continue. The communication I've had with Mr. Melnyk has been off the charts. I'm really, really grateful for that. I can't wait to spend some time with Anthony LeBlanc up in Ottawa. Our hockey operations secretary, Allison Vaughn, has been phenomenal to deal with so far. And I'm looking forward to getting back and working with Allison. So there's so many things that go into it. But I think the biggest thing, Steve, is I've been around it for so long. And when you work inside the glass or between the benches, whomever you want to, or however you want to describe it, you're right in the game. You're talking to the coaches every day. You're talking to the players every day. The way I try to do is I talk to the scouts every day around the league. So I'm not sure there's going to be a big adjustment period for me, to be honest with you, Steve.
Pierre, the next question is going to be from Matt Tidcombe at Senators.com.
Hey, Pierre. Hey, Pierre. Welcome to Ottawa. Just very, very quickly, just how would you assess, the talent in this organization forward?
Did you just say the talent in the organization?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Very, very high. First of all, Trent Mann and the amateur scouts of the Ottawa Senators and Pierre Dorion should be so proud of the work that they've done. They've done phenomenal work. It blows me away how complete their scouting has been. I thought last summer when they got Stützle and Sanderson and Tyler Clevin, I thought they stole the draft. They really did. And I said that at the time. So to me, the biggest thing is their amateur scouting has been phenomenal. The development that's gone on in Belleville with Troy Mann and Ben Sexton and David Bell, and now Justin Peters has been off the charts good. And I just love what DJ's done along with Davis Payne and Jack Capuano, and obviously recently added Zach Burke. I love what they've done with their team at the NHL level. So I think the talent pool is very high in Ottawa. There still has to be some more internal development. I think that's coming. But the future is so bright, especially with the work that Trent Mann and Pierre Dorion have done at the amateur side. It's overwhelming to really think about the job they've done. They've done a fantastic job.
Folks, we're down to one remaining hand. We do have a couple of more minutes. So if anybody would like a question, a reminder to please use the raise hand function. From there, we'll go to Martin Comtois, Le Droit.
Bonjour, Pierre. I've got two questions for you. In your eyes, what's missing for this team to contend the next year for a playoff spot?
Well, I don't like to talk about playoff spots, Martin, and I think the biggest reason why is that's for the coaches to talk about. I think that's really important. But to me, the biggest thing is that you never have enough depth down the middle, and I know that's something that Pierre and I have talked about. I still think we're a little light on the back end, and that's something we need to talk about, and we have, and need to be addressed. And I'm excited about the goaltending pool that they've put together. I mean, when you really look at it, it's phenomenal with the development, obviously the internal development, Martin, of the goaltenders in the organization. So it's really positive in a lot of situations, but I'm not sure we're deep enough down the middle yet. And that's something that I know Pierre and I have talked about, and still want to add some robust depth on defense for the organization.
Your last job with an NHL team was here in Ottawa in 95, 96. It's well known you had the chance to interview over the years for other jobs around the league. How come it took that long for you to get another job with a team in the NHL?
Great question. I actually turned some jobs down too, Martin, along the way. In fact, I was offered a general manager's job, but the contract was not long enough. I had 7 years left in my NBC deal. And the team that offered me the deal said it's only a 2-year opportunity. I said, that doesn't work. And I made a promise to the people at NBC at the time that I wouldn't leave for anything less than 4 years. So that was at that time. And so I've had other opportunities. I've had opportunities to go back in different situations, not just management, but into some coaching situations as well. And I chose not to do it because I gave my word to the people at NBC over the last 10 years.
Pierre, for the final question this morning, it'll be Stephane Leroux at RDS. Go ahead, Steph.
Hi, Stephane.
Hey, Pierre. Hey, Pierre. Congratulations. Just a quick one. How fun it will be to fight for 2 points every night instead of just watching the game and give comments on it.
Oh, that is so awesome. I love it. It's going to be great. Ever since Mr. Melnyk told me that I had the position, I've been talking with Pierre Dorion. Every day's been like a game 7 for me. I'm just so excited about it. So It's going to be a ton of fun. I know there's going to be ups and downs. There always is in the National Hockey League. I think the one thing, Stephane, that I've learned over time is how to be more patient and how to control my emotion. I'm a very intense person, as most people know that have seen me work or have been working with me. And I think the one thing I've learned over time as I've gotten older is to take a step back and evaluate a little bit more calmly. And I think that's a positive sign for me. I thought that was maybe a weakness that I had, and I think it's more of a positive sign for me. So I'm looking forward to the everyday ups and downs of the National Hockey League. It's something that I've missed significantly.